Have you ever imagined there is a place in this world that is so remote that modern humans are considered a deadly threat? Dense forest, without electricity, without internet, without the rules of the outside world. And the most terrible thing, anyone who tries to enter their territory often never returns safely. They are not just ordinary inland tribes. They live by their own rules, guarding their ancestral land from strangers by any means. This time, we will go into the story of the most isolated tribes in the world, a place where one wrong step can be the end of the journey. In an era when almost the whole world is already connected to the internet, there are still places that seem to be thousands of years behind from modern civilization. The place is hidden behind the Amazon forest, Papaman Mountains, to a remote island in the middle of the ocean. The people there live by hunting, making and maintaining ancestral traditions that have been going on for hundreds or even thousands of years. They don't know social media, don't know modern vehicles. Even some of them don't know the existence of the outside world. For them, strangers are not guests, but a threat, because throughout history, the arrival of outsiders often brings disease, violence, slavery, and mass death. As a result, many inland tribes choose to close themselves completely, and anyone who is desperate to enter must be ready to face the consent. One of the most mysterious tribes in the world lives on a small island called North Sentinel. The island is located in the territory of India, in the middle of the Indian Ocean. From the sky, the island looks beautiful. The green forest surrounds the white beach that is still natural, but behind that beauty, there is something hidden that makes the Indian government forbid anyone to approach. The Sentinelese tribe lives on the island, one of the most isolated tribes in the world. They are believed to have lived there for thousands of years, without contact with modern civilization. The creepy one. They are very aggressive towards outsiders. A helicopter that is too low will be showered with arrows. Fishing boats that approach can be attacked. Even some people were reported dead because they tried to enter their territory. The Indian government finally established a prohibited zone around the island because, besides being dangerous for immigrants, modern contacts can also destroy the tribe. Their bodies do not have immunity to external diseases, such as the common cold. It means one small cough from a stranger can be a disaster for the whole tribe. In 2018, the world was shocked by the story of a young man who dared to enter Sentinel Island. He is an adventurer and a missionary. The goal is simple. He wants to communicate with the tribe, even though it has been warned many times. He kept trying to get close, using a fishing boat. At first, he tried to give a gift, but the response received was very different from what he expected. The tribe's inhabitants instead released arrows at him. A few days later, he tried again, and that was the last time he was seen alive. That incident made the world come back to consciousness, that not all places on Earth can be entered by modern humans. There are areas that choose to stay wild, remain mysterious, and remain closed. If North Sentinel is a forbidden island, then the Amazon is a labyrinth of life that can swallow humans at any time. The largest rainforest in the world houses many tribes that have not been touched by the outside world. Some live, moving around in the forest. They hunt using poisonous chopsticks, fishing, and survive from nature. Many modern expeditions claim to have seen their existence from a distance, but getting close to them is very dangerous. In addition to the risk of conflict, the Amazon forest itself is full of threats. Venomous snake, deadly insects. The river flows fiercely, and predatory animals that are difficult to predict. Not a few people went into the interior of the Amazon, then disappeared without a trace. Some were found in dire condition, and some more never found at all. For the inland tribe, land is not just a place to live. Land is the spirit of ancestors, a holy place, part of their identity. Because of that, they are willing to risk their lives to protect him. Some tribes believe strangers bring curses. There are also those who believe that the forest has a guardian spirit that will be angry if their territory is disturbed. This kind of belief makes them very cautious of immigrants, and if someone violates the customary rules, punishment can be very harsh. In Indonesia itself, Papua is one of the regions with many inland tribal groups. Some live far away in the mountains and dense forests. The terrain is extreme. The weather is hard to predict, and access to the location is very limited. Some areas can even only be reached on foot for days. For outsiders, the journey feels impossible, but for the local community, nature is a part of everyday life. Although now, many areas of Papua are starting to open, there are still certain areas that are very closed to foreigners. Because, besides the cultural factor, safety is also the main consideration. The question, why do many inland tribes choose to avoid the outside world? The answer turned out to be very sad. Throughout history, many native tribes actually suffer after contact with modern humans. They lost the land, loss of culture, even lost family due to illness and violence. There is a tribe whose population is almost wiped out just because of a flu outbreak. There are also those who are forced to leave the forest for development. That's why some groups choose to survive in their own way. Not because I hate the outside world, but because they want to stay alive. Many people are curious about the life of an isolated tribe. The internet is full of photos and stories about them. But behind that curiosity, there is a limit that cannot be violated, because coming to them without permission is not only dangerous, but also do not respect their lives. The modern world often forgets that not all humans want to be part of global civilization. Some just want to live in peace, like their ancestors before. Until today, there are still many inland tribes whose exact number is not yet known. Some are only visible from the air. There is a small cottage in the middle of the forest, thin smoke from the campfire, or footprints on wet ground. But after that, they disappeared back into nature. Their mystery made many researchers interested, but most of them agree it's best to let them live without interruption, because maybe we are the biggest threat to them. In the midst of an increasingly modern world, the existence of inland tribes reminds us that humans once lived very close to nature, without tall buildings, without technology, without the hustle and bustle of social media. They choose to live in a different way. That's why they still survive to this day, because not everything has to be touched by modernization. Sometimes, mystery should remain a mystery.